How's it going, everyone? My name's McQ and welcome to Toilet Talk. So as I'm filming this, it is really late. It's about, I think, 8 o'clock p.m. right now, and that is the time I went to bed last night. Now, why is this important, you may ask yourself? It's because that today I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not a 3. 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work, because job stuff is crazy and whatnot. But yes, I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning just to go to work, and then I got off at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then at 1 o'clock I had to go back to work. It's been a long day to say the least, and I'm pretty goddamn tired, if you can't already tell. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Oh well, I'm tired, there you go, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So that brings me to why I am talking, I guess, today, because A, I need a toilet talk, and B, I'm super tired, and that got me thinking, I need to talk about something that I thought personally of, and it's a completely original idea that I don't think anyone else has thought of. But anyways, it's something to talk about on my toilet talks, and that's a thing. Today, I'm going to be talking about what I call a sleeping hangover. Now, what is a sleeping hangover, you might ask yourself? Well, one, you know what sleeping is. It's what you do when you're not awake, or you could be dead. Anyways, two, a hangover is something you get when you drink too much alcohol. But when you put sleeping and hangover together, you get a word that I made up when I was little kid. So a sleeping hangover, in my definition, is the feeling you get when you stay up all night after an all-nighter, and it is about 4 or 5 hours after you realize that you've stayed up all night and you feel like absolute garbage. That is what I call a sleeping hangover. You just feel friggin' awful and you just want to die. Kind of like a hangover. I've never had one of those, I swear, but I imagine this is what a sleeping hangover would be like. Probably not, but that's what I'm gonna call it, and that's what I've called it since I was a little kid. So there you go, a new word to add to your vernacular, because now your vernacular is spectacular. So besides learning a little bit of new lingo, I'm also going to be talking about ways how you can possibly wake up earlier. For if you're not a morning person, now you can maybe wake up slightly early. And other little tidbits of information and personal things I've found out when I deal with a sleeping hangover. Oh god, my voice is cracked. And I'm super tired still. So anyway, here we go. So you may be wondering how I was able to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, I would consider myself more of a morning person than a late night owl person. One thing that's really obvious is to just go to sleep at the appropriate time. I had to wake up at 3 o'clock, and I did some math, and I decided that the best time for me to sleep would be 8 p.m. Now, I know that's very, very early to go to sleep for most people, but, you know, I had to go to work. It was 3 in the morning. I didn't want to stay up at 2 o'clock and then get less than an hour of sleep just to go to work. I need to plan and schedule my sleeping effectively. Now there's also the scientific study of sleep cycles, which is a very important thing for getting the proper amount of sleep and whatnot. That will also take into account. There's actually a website that I use a lot called the Sleep Calculator that will tell you when you should go to sleep and when you should wake up. I'll put a link in the description of the sleep calculator. Try it for yourself. It's very, very useful. I highly recommend it. So another tip for waking up early is wake up at certain intervals when you need to sleep. Just think of it like a night that you just can't keep asleep. You keep on waking up, maybe you have to go to the bathroom all the time in the middle of the night, and you just have to get up and go to the bathroom, or just wake up and try to go to sleep. Wake up, sleep, wake up, sleep. One of those kinds of nights. We've all had those kinds of nights. I would suggest that if you have to get up super early, to try to wake up in the middle of the night constantly. I know it doesn't sound good on paper, but you do this quite often already. The time where you actually have to wake up, you are initially more wide awake when you have to wake up at the appropriate time. Now, I will admit, doing this does take some practice. It took me a couple weeks to really get the hang of waking up at certain intervals, like forcibly to do that, like on my own will. But now that I am able to control it a little bit, waking up super early is a lot easier. And another random sleep tip that I can give you for people who are studying in school is that when you go to sleep and you have a huge test, maybe it's finals week and you have finals to take, go to sleep for 4 hours, then wake up and study for an hour, then go back to sleep for another 4 hours. So that way you get 8 hours, but they're split. Now this broken sleep into increments of 2-4 hours is actually a good thing, because the first 4 hours, I believe, is when you get the best sleep, and everything after 4 hours, I believe, is just excess stuff. That's when you start dreaming dreams. But you only really need that first 4 hours of sleep. It's all part of that sleep cycle. I would highly recommend you look that up and studying it. And speaking of studying, the hour break of studying that you get in between sleeps helps you retain the knowledge that you're trying to learn. It bridges over to the next day, which is something that for people that like to cram studies is really helpful. I've actually done this a lot for my high school midterm finals and whatnot, and I gotta say, it did help. I saw a huge difference in it. Again, this doesn't sound too great on paper. It works. It really helps. I didn't feel tired at all. I felt like I retained the knowledge that I was trying to learn and memorize, while still feeling like I got a full night's sleep, and feeling that I knew the material an hour better, if that makes any sense. So those are just a couple sleep advices that I could give you. Man, I'm super tired. God, I've been up so long. So I'm gonna go to sleep now. Actually, no, I'm gonna go film some more stuff, but anyways, that's where I'm going to end this episode of Toilet Talk. Thank you so much for watching this late night episode of Toilet Talk. I guess late night for me. Be sure to check out any of the annotation I have around my head for more videos I've done. And subscribe if you haven't, because you can see more videos that I have, and I will probably do another sleep deprivation video probably sometime down the future, and it will be ridiculous. And I will be speaking nonsense, I'll be sweating, I'll just be babbling, and I'll be laughing like a maniac. So you should probably do that if you want to see any of that. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Toilet Talk. Have a great day, or at least for me, a great night. And as usual, I will see you in the next video. See you later.